What's poppin', y'all? Welcome back to another YouTube video, and today we're taking a look at The Lion King. And this isn't the animated one, this is the live action one, because we are going to be taking a look at Mufasa, the live action movie, tomorrow. I thought we'd start off with The Lion King live action. So I recently rewatched this movie. I did watch it in cinemas for the first time back in 2019 when Disney really started their live action push for live action movies. I don't know why they're pushing so hard to remake most of their movies in live action, but they did. They pushed this one quite hard. They're also doing a live action Tangled, which I wish they didn't. They're also doing a live action Snow White, which I wish they didn't. They're doing a live action Frozen and a live action Moana, which again, I wish they didn't. They're also doing a live action Bambi, which I wish they didn't. But you know what? They're Disney. They're a billion-dollar company. They can do what they want with their own IP. I can't force them to do anything or cause them to stop. But we bullied them into like changing Sonic's design. I think we can bully some more companies into doing like other things, like stop these stupid live action remakes. They also did Aladdin. But you know what? We all know how that turned out. So without any further delay, let's take a look at what Google has to say. So, The Lion King, a 2019 fantasy adventure, which is 1 hour and 38 minutes. It is 6.8 out of 10 on IMDb, a 4.7 out of 5 on Amazon, and a 51% on Rotten Tomatoes. You can watch this on Disney+, Google Play, Amazon Store, and Sky Store. Simba, a young lion prince, flees his kingdom after the murder of his father Mufasa. Years later, a chance encounter with Nala, a lioness, causes him to return and take back what is rightfully his. So how the story really starts is with Simba being born in Pride Rock, in the savannah, and Simba then grows up with Zazu. He sings about wanting to be king, you know, how we just can't wait to be king. We then have him with Mufasa. Mufasa says everything the light touches is ours to rule. And they see Elephant Rock in the distance. He's like, what about over there? And, like, Mufasa's like, no, we must never go over there, Simba. And Simba's like, fuck you, I'm going over there. He takes Nala to go over to Elephant Rock. They then get attacked by hyenas, and they run away. I do believe they get rescued by Mufasa, and Mufasa's like, fuck off, stay off my kids, bruv. And then Scar sings how, he wants to be king and how he must prepare. And then, you know, they lead Simba into this wildebeest trap. The hyena lure the wildebeest to this, like, very thin canal, this very thin, like, ravine, and then Mufasa saves Simba. Mufasa dies to the wildebeest because he's betrayed by Scar. Simba doesn't see this, but, you know, Scar says that he should run because no one will love him because he killed his own father, and he runs away. The hyena chases him. He manages to escape. He almost dies in the desert. Timon and Pumbaa find him. They sing about, like, it means no worries for the rest of your days. And they eat, like, fucking bugs and shit. And then Nala shows up and they're like, I love you. And he's like, I love you. And they then go back to Pride Rock, where Scar has basically fucking killed it. And then Simba fights Scar, and Timon and Pumbaa do the hula. And, you know, they win. They kill Scar, and they hit. Like, Simba and Nala have a baby and movie ends. I'm gonna be honest, might not have gone exactly like that. That was definitely the animation story. That was the animated version story. This one, very, very different. Very, very different indeed. I don't think Timon and Pumbaa actually do the hula in this version. And the emotions are definitely not as expressive with this movie. With them being live-action animals, you cannot get them to express their feelings very well. I will be honest, the live-action cast of characters is fucking brilliant. Getting Donald Glover, whatever his name is, I'm sorry if I did pronounce it wrong, either way. Being Simba is fucking peak. I think that is great acting choice for Simba, and it is great. I don't know. And I do want to praise this movie for its pretty decent, like, CGI and live action. But with it being a live action and not animated cartoon style, is that it does lose a little bit of its sort of personality, and it does lose quite a lot of its sort of, what makes it special. You do get a lot of creative freedom and a lot of creative design choices and character designs in total when you do get to do a animated movie, and that didn't really translate very well into live action. It does lose quite a lot of the color, the personality, the vibrancy, and with that, then the characters do become quite basic, and they don't stand out as much, and it is hard to differentiate which character is which. I'm gonna be honest. The characters do look quite similar and very hard to distinguish. They have very faint changes between their color scheme, whether it's slightly a darker gray or slightly lighter gray, maybe a little bit of a reddish brown. It is extremely hard to sort of tell the difference between these characters, and I'm gonna be honest, I don't fucking know what's going on. They changed so much from the original. From some of the songs got changed, some of the characters got changed as well. They changed, I do believe, Ed from the original, who by far is my favorite hyena. The hyenas were my favorite part from the original, and they added a random fourth one in this movie, which is the hyena leader, and I don't know why they added a new leader, because they had a leader last time, which was pretty good as a leader already for the hyenas, so I don't get why they added a fourth one. I don't care that they gender bent it. I did see a lot of people complaining about that. I don't really care. I don't care. Simple. I'm just confused why they added another one. 3 was fine, but sure, whatever. And I'm upset that they got rid of Ed. Why did they get rid of Ed? Ed was my favorite. He was the stupid one, and he brought so much comedy to the original movie that just wasn't present in this new movie. I don't get it. Why get rid of one of the more comedic characters? Also, making Seth Rogen as Pumbaa is a choice. That is a straight up choice, because he said when he was doing Donkey Kong, that he won't do a voice. He won't voice act. He will use his voice, and that is it. And his laugh is very iconic, and he is quite an adult animator and director. He did do Bad Neighbors, and he does Invincible, so putting him in The Lion King is slightly strange to me. I'm gonna be honest, I don't really think it fits for Pumbaa. He doesn't really feel like Pumbaa. However, watching this and Mufasa has sort of ruined my vision of Pumbaa, because now I can't unhear him as Pumbaa. His voice is that iconic and that distinct that he's just ingrained himself into my head as Pumbaa. I don't really like Timon's voice actor either, and like I said, some of the voice acting choices, like Donald Glover, perfect, brilliant, beautiful. Other choices, not so much. Not so much. They could have done slightly better, in my opinion, but it just felt very emotionless, very soulless, because they did a great job at CGI the lions. It does look really good, but can you really call it a live action when you're technically still animating it, but you're just CGIing it? It's still not real. It's still not real people acting out this stuff. It's still voice actors dubbing over a fake lion, a CGI fake computer generated lion. It's not real. I know there's no fucking way you can train lions to do this shit. I'm not anyway expecting them to train lions to do this shit. I'm just confused with why they decided to do this. And if this is anything to go off with the Bambi remake, I'm not excited. I am not excited for the Bambi live action if this is what we have to go off. Simba doesn't seem to give a shit when his father dies. I've seen a meme go around of Simba's wide mouth, sort of shocked look in the animated version, and then his fucking dead ass expression in the live action. It just feels very boring. Like, there's no emotion, there's no expression on any of the lions' faces, and I've seen a lot of fan edits which make the lions look a little bit realistic with the colours of the sort of animated version, and I do admit it does look a little weird, it does look a little off, and I can understand why Disney didn't go down that route, because it does make this weird sort of CGI hybrid which just doesn't look that good, but you can make them more expressive, you can make them a little bit more emotionful, and it took everything that made the original good and sort of threw it straight out the window. Some of the songs weren't even there, like the Be Prepared song that Scar sings was replaced by a song a hyena sang, which is a choice. Be Prepared is one of the more iconic songs from the original Lion King, and one that everybody loves, so I don't know why they decided to get rid of it. Obviously, they had to keep Hakuna Matata, Hakuna Matata, because that's iconic. That's like the main song. That is like what everybody is singing for decades after The Lion King came out. So, of course, they had that one. But it just feels very cheap, and like they just did it for the money. And that's all Disney are here for. Disney has sort of got this really bad reputation over current years where they're doing sequel after sequel just to get like money, just for cash grabs, just because they know it worked, just because it worked first time doesn't mean it'll work a second time. I hope I said something different on the topic of The Lion King, because I know this movie's been out for like a good 6 years now, and probably a lot has already been said about it, so I hope that I can add something else to the discussion and give my thoughts and opinions on it before Mufasa comes out. But I know I'm really late to the topic. I'm sorry I'm late. I'm late to everything. It's kind of the brand now. But I'm going to give this a solid 5 out of 10 because it's kind of mid. Like, the original is better.